Hey,
My brother.
hey, it was awesome to see Mel right there. I mean, cause homie was so ahead of his time with his flows and the shit he was talking about. I mean, hey, that he was one
God
of the
was
first
born
ones
with
I was
no
listening
state
to.
of mind, blind to the ways of
Oh
mankind.
yeah, he got
What?
mad. He got mad quotables.
You
That's
know,
a
I
fact.
was a little, I was a little kid. I grew up in this neighborhood, and they used to call me Little Angel because they used to hang out with my big brother. My big brother inspired me to rap to become an MC. I wanted to be like my brother, so that's why I picked up the pen and the pad. But my brother would bring me back tapes of Zulu Nation jams and Melly Mel, and just so when I look at him, you know, I have no choice. They don't even look at me as Fat Joe. They look at me as like Little Angel, Little Joey from the block. So, you know, I love him so much. But I was talking to him about, I've always wondered, so say you are one of the most successful groups of all time, Cypress Hills, Be Real. But what about the other artists that you worked with that wasn't as successful as you? Um, like, I've always wondered why hip hop doesn't have a union. You know how the workers got the Teamsters Union. Why we never have a union? So if one of our favorite artists ever got sick and don't got no medical coverage, why we can't connect and help them? I was asking Mel that. Did you ever think about that before?
It's
Big Bill?
crazy you brought that up because back in the day, and you remember this well, there used to be a lot of seminars back in the day, like New Music Seminar and
Jack the
all the
Rapper,
Jack
New
the
Year,
Rappers and
yeah.
all that. And there was a couple that came through the West Coast, and a lot of the heavyweights showed up to these. We all showed up, to see what was popping because a lot of the new artists would be coming out. We'd be, there in support or to see what was even whack, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever it was, we was right there to see it. And, you know, in that time, Ice Cube wanted to go to one of these things, but he wasn't available to go. And we were supposed to be on this panel together with, I believe it was Roxanne Shante, Lauryn Hill, KRS-One, and I can't remember who else was on that panel. But he was telling me way back then, and this was in 92, 93, something like that, that we should bring up having a union. That way we can get the industry right in terms of giving everybody a fair contract. Because a lot of rappers sorry about that. A lot of rappers back in the day was getting fucked. Just like a lot of the old school artists in
Yeah,
the
not now. Now they getting fucked too.
they're getting fucked today still, you know what I'm saying? But we were talking about that so that like if anything was funny in someone's contract, if somebody wasn't getting their money for like a show or this or that, we could literally shut down, the genre by banding together as a union. And when I brought that up, there was some that got it, it's some that didn't, because the whole problem is that some rappers are doing better than others. So like, let's just say, we're in a set place, so we could say, you know what, we ain't gonna do no gigs this month until so and so gets his money. Maybe a couple of the other artists down the line ain't in that position where their money right there they need that money right there. They ain't in such a great position. So if they, like, let's say, shut down and they join that like boycott or strike or whatever, they're losing money. You know what I mean? And they're
I
not in that
agree. I
position.
agree.
So
I mean,
so there was
it's a concept I think that we really need to look at as a community, as artists, for everybody. You know what I mean? Like for
yeah.
everybody. It don't, because it hurts me to see that some of our guys are not looked after. And what happens is they make you think that, this business is competition. They make you think that everybody's against each other. But
Yeah.
the truth is, we all really love each other. And we really
Right.
have a camaraderie. Even though we don't talk to each other every day. When I holler at you, you holler at me. It's like, it's the same thing with everybody else. And I just want to thank you, man, because you being one of the very few, I'm going to say what's up to Tito from the Fearless Four. He's the first Latino I ever heard with like hits. But you guys, y'all kicked the fucking doors open and we actually thought you was from like Cypress Ave in the Bronx.
Yeah.
And man, you know, you somebody that, you know, we you know, you're a superstar. Like you guys are like got a cult following superstars. And I remember when me and Pun reached out to you and I told you, yo, I got an artist, I want you on a song. You sent that motherfucker back in less than a day, man. And it's always been the same way between us.
Hey man, it's been like that forever, and you know, because there was a connection between us when y'all came out, you know, individually and together. You know, for me, aside from the fact that you were Latinos, like you guys were spitting fucking thunderous bars and the flows were just phenomenal. So I felt connected to that because I always like to be inspired by things like that. You know what I mean? Like certain rappers to me in my time, you know, and I would imagine older artists that come before us felt this way, that other motherfuckers inspired them to be better. So when I heard what y'all was doing, I felt like, damn, I got to get sharp and step up my game. And when y'all invited me to get on a joint with y'all, I felt honored because I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get down with these dudes. Because truthfully, you know, a lot of cats looked at me in as a songwriter. They didn't really look at me as a lyricist that can get on the track and spit these certain types of bars and flows and stuff like that. And getting on with you and Pun when I did, and Coogee Rap, shout out to him, one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying? That helped me step up my game, and then that gave me extra skills and extra tools to get on any record with anybody, you know what I mean? And to me, that's inspiration right there. I fuck with y'all all day still. Like when you put some shit out, believe me, I got my ear to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you've always been one of my favorites. You know what
Same
I'm
thing,
saying?
vice versa. Let me ask you something, man, because I might have done a million interviews. And any interview they ever asked me about who's a Latino inspired me. Did you hear these interviews when I'm
Oh,
picking you up and I'm saying I mean, did you ever hear it?
oh yeah, for sure. I always heard it, and I always appreciated it. And you know, like when people hit me up on that shit, you know, it's like one of those things, right? We all have mad love and respect for each other, so we support each other's get down, and we'll fucking stamp it. You know what I mean? And we'll talk about it because it's only right. You know what I mean? You talk about the people that influence you and inspire you, and you know, carry forth that shit, and you know, just do what you do. And when you hear some shit like that, you know, like the crazy shit that I would hear, like with that, you know, I'd hear about y'all and I'd hear about EPMD all the time. Y'all and EPMD were always like people that motherfuckers mention that, like, oh man, these motherfuckers love you. They big up you all the time, man. And you know, we always appreciated that. And that's why, you know, when we work together, it's easy. You know what I mean? When you call me, I'm right there. I call you, you're right there, and it works like that. Unfortunately, though, to the point you were making earlier in terms of the union, the game has built up so that we all have our own kingdoms and we don't need to fuck with each other. And sometimes we don't even want to fuck with each other because they, you know, the reality is there's strength in numbers, right? All through history, that has been a constant. There is strength in numbers, and when people get together and move together, it's a bigger, stronger movement, harder to stop. You know what I mean? And with hip hop music, we're such a big voice for the people in our communities, the communities that we come from and we represent, and we're that voice that they can't fucking be. The minute we all get together and become one voice, that's formidable, and that's what they're afraid of. So it's easier to give this motherfucker more shine and give this motherfucker less shine, and pit them up against each other so that they'll never have that bridge to be one voice and to influence people and to teach and educate people and make people feel something. Because you know, our music, as much as it was like the underdog and the most hated genre in the world for a time because of where the artists come from, we're the most powerful, fucking most relevant voice
That's
in
right.
the
You was
fucking
ahead of your
world.
time in many, many ways, musically and chronically. Uh, did you capitalize off this fucking weed rush? Because I mean, if any rapper I've ever heard of weed is fucking Be Real, Cypress Hills. I mean, Mr. Green Thumb, y'all motherfuckers been smoking a long time. Be Real,
and we
like
still do it like that. Papa, you know what I'm saying? We stay lit. We stay lit.
did you make money off the fucking the gold rush of the weed gold rush?
Well, look, here's the thing, right? Dr. Green Thumbs are doing really well. You know, the 6 shops that we have now, we just opened one in Cathedral City, which is in Palm Springs, like out towards that area. So, and we're looking to expand. So we're doing well because we were able to develop a strong brand through Dr. Green Thumb, which came through music via Cypress Hill. So we had a head start, and we backed that shit up with our own product. We're what they call vertical, which means we produce our own product. Because me and my homies, we've been into cultivation for 20 some odd years. You know what I'm saying? So we started everything from that ground up, and we built something that people know and are familiar with and they trust. So when we opened up shop, people definitely came to it. And what we did different was we didn't hate on no one. We got everybody's flavors and put them in our shop and highlighted them too. You know what I mean? Like, and tried to have quality all these great brands. You know what I mean? And people fuck with us for that. You know, so we're doing pretty well. And the thing is about it is that if you're going to get in from the ground up and you don't have like brand recognition, it's costly, man, and it's a hard game to get involved with, man. You got to have financial backing to build the brand and to build the facilities, to get the licenses and with it, man, because there is a lot of bumps and bruises in the road that you get dealing with these people from the state and city for those licenses and all that stuff. Once we knew that the next one following would be easier, you know.
You know, I don't smoke, man, but I be looking at your pictures, man. You put up some fucking weed. Sometimes it's orange. Sometimes it's purple. I seen orange weed, purple shit. I be like, yo, this motherfucker got the good shit. Like, you can just tell it's some exotic shit going on over there.
Hey, man,
Do you get high? You've been getting high for so long. Do you ever get high? Like, like right now it's almost like me drinking the Diet Pepsi, how you smoke, right? So, like Scott Storch too, he's always smoking all day. I say, yo, Scott, do you ever get like high? Do you ever smoke a weed that you like, yo, I'm fucked up? Damn, it keep freezing.
yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Yeah, you know,
do you
like
ever get high? Like, do you ever smoke a weed now that, like, holy shit, like the first time you ever smoked, like, Jesus?
If I do like dabs, like if I do too many dabs, yeah. Like if I'm just smoking weed, like I can smoke all day and it don't matter. It's because it's something we do all the time. You know what I mean? So my tolerance is right there. I get stoned, but I don't get like super fucked up unless I do like a dab or if I launch something like this off by myself. You know what I'm saying? If I if
That's
I launch,
rolled up. That's rolled
yeah,
up.
yeah. It's on one of our funky field tips. This glass piece right here,
Jesus
and then
Christ.
you know, accompanied by this filter here. But the
Let
rest,
me ask you something. Yo, be real. Has weed been selling more during the coronavirus?
absolutely. The first week, and I would venture to say that every dispensary caught this, was that, you know, there was a flood, just like people were panic shopping in the grocery stores for you know, groceries because they didn't know when shit was gonna shut down or, you know, shit was gonna run out. People ran to those weed shops and bought everything they could that first couple weeks because they didn't know whether we were going to stay open, whether we were going to be an essential business or not. But once it leveled out, you know, it went back to normal numbers, and those normal numbers are pretty good as is, but like realistically, there are spikes, you know, where it goes up and then back to normal during this time. Because realistically, I mean, people are at home. So, you know, and they get antsy and shit. And the one thing that keeps them chilled the fuck out is the weed, if they smoke weed. And if you don't, and you try it for the first time, try some low grade shit and just go easy, because you might give yourself a fucking panic attack. But
Oh,
more people are smoking because they're home. You know what I mean? They're in their confines of their home. They're safe, so they're smoking more to pass the time.
yeah, that's some shit. I never thought about it. I think everybody was rushing to get food, buying guns, and motherfuckers was running to buy weed. Motherfuckers is like, yo, I need that fucking weed in case we lock down for 6 months. I need to have that weed. And
Oh
you know
yeah,
it's crazy, Nori, every minute of the day I call him, I speak to him, he's smoking. I'm like, damn, yo, Nori, you never run out. He was like, nah, I got it.
yeah. Some of us got it like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not it ain't gonna run out for us for a long time. But you know, others, yeah, they might not be so fortunate.
That's crazy, man. So you working on a new album with should we talk about that or no?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just Burner and I just released an album called Los Meadows not too long ago, a few weeks ago on 4/17, and you know, so we got that out there right now. But you know, realistically, we were supposed to do an album with Scott Storch, right, with Scott, and you know that got delayed, so we put this one out first, and we're about to start working on that one with Scott now. And
I got to
man,
get on that shit.
oh, you got to get on that.
Now,
Oh
Burner's
man,
a great guy, man. I like Burner a lot.
and he's a great guy. He's a student of the game, and he's a fucking dope businessman in the cannabis game, and his work ethic is crazy, bro. Like we, you know, get to the studio. My man already got like 3 songs knocked down. You know what I mean? It's like that. He's like one of us in that sense. You know what I mean? Like
You know,
he could.
fuck, I was going to say, damn, I fucked up. I was going to say something, man. Jesus Christ.
You caught a
Oh,
contact, bro.
LA Originals.
Yeah.
We had Cartoon on here a couple of weeks ago. My daughter fell in love with cartoons. She's like, this is crazy. I got to go to LA. I got to see that ice cream truck. I got to, oh man, how proud of you of Stefan and Cartoon putting out that documentary, man.
Man, very proud, man, and they did an amazing job. I know they put a lot of long hours into that shit. They put years into that, and to see it come out and how they told the story, man, it was incredible, man. And to see the props that they're finally getting, because a lot of people, you know, they acted like they didn't know what these guys did, and now you have to fucking
Yeah.
acknowledge it. And I love that shit, because you know there was people, you know, that hated on them and didn't want them to get any shine and shit like that, and they were our boys, you know what I mean? So we was always going to support them, but realistically they did the work and outworked a lot of people, and you know that is like the testimony of it. And you know the stamp that they put in the game was enormous. And you know, I'm just glad people finally see it and they know where certain things come from now, because it's like you said, a lot of motherfuckers don't know where shit comes from, because you know they're not students like that anymore. They could give a fuck about the information because they in the right now. They don't care where what came
When
from.
I tell you that documentary uh is going, I seen three. Well, I seen the Tiger King, the LA Originals, and then I just saw one last night on Michelle Obama, the First Lady. And that was amazing, amazing, amazing. Those are like the three best documentaries I've seen this whole year. That was just like, wow. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? When, you know, Tiger King train wreck, you know, that shit crazy. But, you know, as far as the LA Originals, it was so like interesting and just like, wow, I couldn't, you know, believe. And it just kept getting better and better and better. And then Michelle Obama too, her documentary was crazy last night. I watched it last night. I might watch it again now.
Yeah, I
When I
gotta check
finish
it.
up with you guys. It was
Yeah,
inspiring, you know what I'm saying? So I
yeah, I
guess
gotta
that's the
check that
word.
one.
The cartoons documentary was very, very inspiring. You know?
Hey man, it's the whole thing about that story, right? If you pay attention in cartoons, part of it was the belief of how good he was at a young age that his parents instilled to him, and then his belief in that. No matter where he was as an artist, that's, you know, he believed he was going to become great if he wasn't great already. This was already in his head. It's and a lot of times, and people might think this shit is crazy, but it's what you tell yourself. You know, you plant the seed in your subconscious, and you are what you are. So if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm fucking one of the best, and you believe that shit, eventually you are going to be that, and motherfuckers are gonna believe it because you believe it. If you think to yourself, man, I ain't gonna be shit, guess what? He ain't gonna be
You ain't gonna
shit.
be shit.
So
I
it's
agree.
what you tell
You know,
yourself.
people who win, it doesn't have to be nothing to do with rap or it just any business or whatever the case may be. Uh um the most successful people, they came out of nowhere and they believed in themselves. A lot of them, and I want everybody to continue school if you're a kid and you watching and go to college or whatever, but most successful people never even graduated high school. You
That's the
know, these
truth of
people
it.
were just smart. They didn't like school, but they believed in their dream and they went for it.
In our profession, you know, most of us are like that, right? Most of us come from a thing where we had to believe in ourselves because really no one else believes in us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna try to go fucking sell records, or you gonna try to make songs, and this and that. You know the same obstacles. Well, as artists, no matter what genre you're in, there's people who support you, and then the people who don't want to fucking see you win.
Let me ask you a quick question. The last question on Be Real, or we could just keep going. I'm waiting for Teddy Riley. Let me see. I think he's around here or something.
The king,
All
King
right,
Teddy.
Teddy Riley. You know, he might take 5 hours to get on this motherfucker. But politically, you know, you saw what they did to the Mexican kids in the cages. You see what they doing at the border. Are you going to support like Joe Biden? Are you going to support, you know, and try to get Trump out of there? Or what's your take on it?
I mean, yeah, Trump's got to get the fuck out of there. I mean, he ain't good for nothing. I mean, you know, like he was good for rap songs in the '90s to reference, but that's about it. Running
Yeah,
countries
man.
ain't.
And I think you guys be real. You guys are very influential, man. So get out there, whether it's social media, whatever it is, to wake your people up and tell them, listen, remember what they did to them kids. Remember what they
Yeah.
did to them kids. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Because we
what's
all get
crazy?
caught up in the moment and we forget. But you let them know. You tell your people, yo, remember what they doing to our people over there at the border. We got to get out there and vote. I
Joe,
love
let
you,
me
Be
ask you this.
Real.
Joe, before you go, let me ask you this. I just want to ask you this, man. With all the shit like that this dude says, like, you know, and a lot of it is lies, like that we can see and that we know that is like actual bullshit. And he's sitting there lying purposefully. Do you feel that he is trying, I say, to run 48 laws of power on motherfuckers with that bullshit right there?
Listen, let me tell you, definitely 48 laws of power. But what this guy's doing is like, you know, I didn't want to just point the finger at him, but he had 2 months to get ready for that coronavirus. They were telling him for 2 months, yo, get ready, locked and loaded. Had Obama been president, bro, we would have been ready for the 2 months. And let's just
Yep.
say it's going to be 150,000, 200,000 people who end up dying. It would have been 10,000 people would have died. Even not one person dying is too much. But, bro, we should have been, you know what I mean? So we can't make the same mistake twice. Let me go to Teddy Riley. I love you, B.